Hi, I'm Kristen, and today we are talking about final arrangements on page 55 of the ending note. And I know you do not want to do this section, but I suggest that you do it first, because you already know what you want. You've been to funerals and memorial services, and you know what you liked and what you didn't like, what felt comfortable and what felt creepy. If you can visualize what your funeral might look like, then this really just becomes event planning. It's your last big party. You're not going to be there to tell everybody what you want, so you're going to do it in the ending note. Now you may feel that, I'm not going to be there, I don't really care. But that's a little bit selfish, because your family does care. They want to do the best by you, and they're going to maybe struggle to figure out what you might have wanted. They might even argue over it. Save them that pain and just write it down. Final arrangements has three main parts. First, cultural considerations. This is where you're going to note religious preferences and whether you want to be buried or cremated, general stuff about your funeral. And if you've been in Japan a long time like I have been, you might have some ideas about how you want to combine Japanese funeral customs and customs from your home country. You might want to have incense offerings at your open casket wake, or maybe you want people to receive towels, or maybe anything except towels. Second is funeral service. Do you want one, and what size should it be? The ending note lists a bunch of different alternatives. You can simply check the one you want, but if that's not there, then write it down under other. There's also a place to share funeral costs. Funerals in Japan can be quite pricey. If you have prepaid for anything, your service, your monument, or anything else, make sure you note that down so that people don't pay for it twice. Japanese funerals usually happen pretty quickly after a death, but if your family is far-flung across continents or time zones, you may want to make a note about how to handle that. Maybe you want everybody to wait until the whole group can gather, or perhaps you want to live stream the service. Just make a note so everybody knows what to expect. And in the burial and monument section, if you have preferences about your monument, your epitaph, where you want your ashes scattered, make a note there. If you're feeling like you want to go a little deeper, turn the page and you'll find sections for personal messages, family history, and any traditions you might want the next generation to keep up. Look, I'm not going to pretend that this is fun. It's not. When I filled this section in, I cried because it's emotional to think about your mortality and to think about what people will be feeling when you're gone. But it's also important to give them some guidance. So take your ending note, grab yourself a comforting drink, make sure the tissues are handy, and spend the next 20 minutes filling this section in. You've got this. Take care.